Hello, and welcome back to Real Fake Facts. I'm your host, Patrick Moore, the man serving up the fakest facts in any corner of this planet, on any dimensional plane of these interwebs. You might find fake news on some other web page. You might find alternative facts in some dank other corner of these interwebs, but it's only here, on this program, that you'll find the real fake facts. Now today, folks, what are we discussing? What are we digging into? What are we speaking truth to power about? What are we going to debunk? What are we going to confirm? What kind of knowledge can we bring to the world today here on Real Fake Facts? Well, today we are going to be discussing the hit diet fad, intermittent fasting. Real Fake Facts! Real Fake Facts. Intermittent fasting. What does it do? Real Fake Facts. Real Fake Facts. This hot new diet that I heard on Joe Rogan, so it must be true. Real Fake Facts. Real Fake Facts. Intermittent fasting, Real Fake Facts. You are now tuning in to Real Fake Facts. I'll say it one more time for the people in the back. Today we will be discussing the hit diet fad, intermittent fasting. So, what is this diet fad? Well, if you're like me and you leave all 1,450 podcast episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience running on a constant loop in the background, I'm sure you've heard of intermittent fasting. Or maybe you've seen it on some sort of health blog or in some other form of alternative media. But what is the real fake facts about intermittent fasting? Well, let me first just break down for you what it is. You know, your typical person, your typical diet is going to be that you wake up in the morning, you eat a meal. It's called breakfast. Then in the middle of the day, you take a pause from your work, from your day, and you eat a second meal. We call that lunch. And then in the evening, when you come home, you sit around with your family, your partner, or all alone like me if you're very sad, and then you eat a meal called dinner. Now, these are 3 meals. Now, what if we took this 3-meal schedule and we squeezed it together, much in the way that we're trying to squeeze our waist smaller, and we just ate 2 meals? What if we eliminated 1 meal? And that's the thing. You know, there have been a lot of different diets, diet fads. They tell you to eat all meat. They tell you to eat all vegetables. They tell you to not eat any animal products and be vegan. They tell you a million different things about how to lose weight. But this is the first and most revolutionary, scientifically backed up way to lose weight. You simply take your meal consumption from 3 down to 2. You eat 1 less meal. You shorten your feeding window, your eating window, the time of day that you are consuming food. And by eating less, you will lose weight. It is a crazy, revolutionary concept. Scientists are really just scratching the surface of this revolutionary idea that if you eat less, that you will weigh less. And the first and best way to do this is to, of course, eliminate 1 of the 3 big meals. Now the mainstream nutritionists, who are on the payroll of the breakfast lobby, have been telling us for decades, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But is it true? Is it true? Have you really thought about it? Have you done some research? Have you experimented yourself? And I think what you'll find is that the breakfast lobby has been shoving this idea that breakfast is the most important meal of the day down our throats for a long time, because they know that breakfast is in fact the weakest meal of the day. It's the most easy to eliminate. If you're like me and you typically, accidentally hit snooze 3 or 4 times more than you should, and then you wake up 10 minutes before you need to be at work, and all you have time to do is roll out of bed, quickly throw on some clothes, and run out the door, and then you feel like a piece of shit because you've missed breakfast. That's what they want. They want you to feel like a piece of shit loser because you're starting your day in such a ill-mannered way that you're not, embracing the most important meal of the day. But in fact, intermittent fasting will tell you you are not a piece of shit. You can wake up hungover, with Dorito crumbs down your front, but if you just don't eat breakfast, you are in fact participating in one of the most revolutionary and one of the most positive diet trends that is sweeping this country and sweeping the planet. So don't let the breakfast lobby make you feel like a piece of shit for waking up late and starting your day in such a hectic and frantic way. That's what they want you to feel. But in fact, what you're doing is you're eliminating a meal. You start your day with lunch, and then you eat your dinner, and now you're intermittent fasting. And you're losing weight because you're eating less, and so your feeding window has been squeezed, and that is squeezing your waistline, which is what, of course, we all want. We want to be healthier, but guess what else? It doesn't stop there. It's not just about weight loss. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not just about weight loss. Big food will try to tell you that you should be eating more. They're hemorrhaging money because this serpent of truth has slithered its way and reached out and has started to strike the hearts and minds of so many of us and has woken us up to the fact that if we simply eat less food, that we can lose the weight, that we can be more healthy. And big food doesn't like it. Big food is hemorrhaging money. Big food is hemorrhaging money, and trust me, ladies and gentlemen, when I say that if you do not see in the next 2.5 years that big food is going to start to cause some problems, and this is going to start to bubble up politically, geopolitically, socially, some bots on Facebook, I don't know, but they will cause a backlash about this because they are hemorrhaging money right now, and they do not know what to do. And if we don't see that, I will cut off my buns. I will. That's a promise. That is a real fake facts promise. I will cut off my buns if you don't start to see this bubble up in the next few years. But that's because this is such a powerful movement. It's a diet fad, but fad isn't the right word. Fad makes it sound like it will end. This is a fad movement. People are changing their lives. People are making their lives better. And I said, you lose weight, but guess what else? You'll also gain energy. And you might be asking yourself, I thought food equaled energy. If I'm eating less food, how am I going to be more energized? Well, that's a very good question. If you look into the science, into the real science, because remember, I've said it before, I'll say it again. On this show, we believe in science. We believe in scientific facts. But if you don't eat, your brain will start to think, I'm starving. I have no food. And then your brain's going to be like, I gotta get this shit together. I gotta go on high alert. I have to go on high alert so I can get some fucking food in my body. And so your brain then is sending energetic signals to your body, and you're feeling energized and awake and fucking ready to go and seize the day by the balls. Whew. God, I need to eat something. I'm so fucking energized right now. Woo! Ah! Woo! Ah! Woo! All right. I'm sorry. This intermittent fasting is just juicing me up. If you want to feel the energy levels like this, I implore, I plead that you will try intermittent fasting. Just stop eating breakfast, or maybe you don't mind the breakfast lobby. Maybe the breakfast lobby is fine for you, and you enjoy your breakfast and your lunch. But what about dinner? Have you ever thought about dinner? The dinner lobby is weak because dinner has been entrenched through the centuries as an important meal. I mean, they were in the ear of the Pope. They had great control under the Catholic Church. Kings, queens, political leaders throughout times have the dinner lobby, entrenched itself. Dinner is the most important. It's when family comes together. It's when you eat your big meal of the day and then you relax. The day is done. The whole work week, the whole work day was set up to funnel us towards dinner as this important time. And so now they're resting on their laurels. The dinner hardly has a lobby. And so if you were to push back against dinner, you might find it to be easier because breakfast is going to be, fighting you every step of the way. The breakfast lobby is a powerful lobby, and they want you to eat those waffles. They say, get that waffle, get that bacon. And so they're shoving it into your face. But dinner, on the other hand, maybe that's easier to skip. I personally find for my lifestyle that it's easiest to skip breakfast and just do a lunch and a dinner, have a nice 8 to 10 hour feeding window. Sometime, between noon and 8 p.m. is when I'm going to be eating, typically. Sometime in that range. That's a lunch and a dinner. And now I'm intermittent fasting. And here's the best part about intermittent fasting. I haven't even gotten to the highlight yet. Have you ever thought to yourself, what am I going to talk about at this party? Well, now you have something. Intermittent fasting. You can be spreading the gospel of intermittent fasting. Maybe you've met a vegan and you've thought to yourself, fuck, this guy's making himself seem better than me because of the diet choices he's making, because of the self-discipline that he's showing. Well, now all you have to do is simply stop eating one meal and you're just right on the same level as him. You can be like, you're a vegan? That's cool. I intermittent fast. And watch the horror creep across his face when he realizes you now are as good as him. And now you can both look down on every other person at the party with disgust and contempt for being lazy slobs who can't do any self-control over their lives. And you can say, I'm an intermittent faster. It's something you can bring up at work, around the work table. It's something you can bring up at a dinner party. Oh, we're meeting for dinner? Can't meet after 8 because that's when my feeding window closes because I'm an intermittent faster. So there are so many advantages to intermittent fasting. Weight loss from eating less, energizing from starving, being obnoxious to your friends. All of these things are important reasons why we must spread the truth and the gospel of intermittent fasting. We must spread it, and we must spread it wide, and we must spread it far. So this, right here on Real Fake Facts, is an exclusive endorsement. This is the first endorsement on Real Fake Facts history, and it's the first diet endorsement, and it'll be the last diet endorsement I've ever done on this show, and that is, we all must be intermittent fasting. We must be intermittent fasting. Thank you for tuning into this program. As always, I must remind you that the people who subscribe to this show do not support kicking puppies. Now, the others who don't subscribe to the show, I can't speak to them. I'll let you draw your own conclusions, connect your own dots. But I can tell you the real fake fact that people who subscribe to this show, they do not support kicking puppies. That is all. I have been your host, Patrick Moore, and this has been Real Fake Facts.